Mustang, Camaro, Dodge Challenger Hellcat. These are all legendary American muscle cars, but can the boys in blue keep up with them? Stay tuned till the end to find out. As the mysterious black Mustang races through the streets of Moralton, Arkansas, the police receive information that a Ford Mustang matching its description has been stolen. In a joint effort between the Conway Police Department and the state police, they track down the stolen Mustang that's tearing through the city. As the pursuit unfolds, various police units join in, strategically positioning themselves along the route. Although they momentarily lose sight of the Mustang, the relentless chase continues, traversing highways and city streets. As we can observe, the black Mustang is accelerating and distancing itself from the police vehicle, reaching speeds over 120 miles per hour.
Between me and 35 right now.
Most police pursuits end with the arrest of the fugitive, although there's a percentage that conclude without one. It's worth noting that pursuits involving high-speed vehicles like this tend to increase the likelihood of escape. And here it is, the first attempted pit maneuver.
If I need to turn around, I need to get back the way you're going. 30 to 5 is back behind you, comment that road. That's the kind of straight shut down the whole road. Without this stop sign, he is.
We knew a successful pit maneuver was bound to happen sooner or later. All it took was this minor bump to throw off the fugitive's concentration, allowing the second police vehicle to wait for him to pass the intersection and execute a successful pit maneuver. According to the report, the suspect is charged with car theft and attempted evasion of the police. Those are the only details we have about the thief. There is a certified trend of Mustangs having wrong license plates. Perhaps it gives them an aura of mystique that clouds a certain misdemeanor, but it also makes them prone to policemen's curiosity. On June 15, 2023, an officer initiated a traffic stop on a Ford Mustang as the plates returned as a 2015 silver Chevrolet Camaro. The Mustang halted to a stop but didn't put in park, which can only mean one thing. And just as the officer approached the suspect vehicle, it took off in the blink of an eye. Catching up will be a long shot. Kudos to the officer for trying to catch up to the speedy criminal and admitting defeat as soon as she realized it was impossible to follow. Luckily, they have the plate's numbers, right? Ah, yes, but to an entirely different car. This guy is a pro. On December 17, 2023, officer heard an excessive exhaust noise and shortly after spotted a gray Dodge Charger speeding carelessly. In an effort to overtake the vehicle, the officer reached top speeds of 140 miles per hour in a 55 miles per hour zone. The officer finally activates emergency lights and sirens as the reckless driver sped through the red light, almost caused a crash, and showed no signs of stopping. The pursuit is now in full motion.
Charlie Papa Yankee. Back to a Dodge four-door gray in color, 5429 at a Dana Beach.
After a long, hot chase, the officer finally managed to perform a successful pit maneuver and stop the vehicle. The suspect, later identified as Jalen Camaros, fled on foot. After a while, he was caught hiding in bushes on a private property and arrested shortly after. It seems as though Camaros had a group of people the size of an average American family in his car, recklessly driving and endangering your friends? Not cool, man! An officer conducted a traffic stop on a black Dodge Charger in the Circle K parking lot at the corner of South University Ave and Colonel Glenn Road. It seemed like the driver intended to stop safely at the gas station. However, as we can assume, that didn't happen. If it had, we wouldn't be covering this case.
Circle K, Second University, Roosevelt, Lee, Arkansas, 029 Zebra Mary Boy, 029 ZMD, Black Dodge Charger. Adam 30 for that?
The driver soon lost control of the vehicle after attempting to flee. An Arkansas State Police trooper seized the opportunity to end the pursuit by pinning the vehicle against the curb using his front bumper. The fugitive accelerated and pushed through as the trooper was exiting his unit. The Charger SRT Hellcat, for example, has theft claims 60 times more frequent than the average vehicle. The trooper saw another opportunity to end the pursuit and disable the front passenger tire. He used the passenger side front bumper of his unit and collided with the passenger side front tire. The collision pushed back the trooper's front bumper, damaging the front fascia and the passenger side fender, but even that didn't stop the suspect. As the suspect entered the interstate, he made an unsafe lane change and collided with a semi-truck and trailer, dragging the vehicle about 200 feet before coming out from under the trailer.
Eastbound, we're continuing to approach Garrett Springs.
Eastbound Garrett Springs.
The trooper performed a successful TVI maneuver, ending the vehicle pursuit. During the TVI, the suspect exited the passenger's side front door and fell to the ground. To avoid running over the suspect, the trooper steered his unit to the left, causing the driver's side of his unit to collide with the suspect's vehicle, causing slight damage.
Yeah, subject bailed.
Good morning.
The suspect fled south from I-30 across the South Frontage Road to the apartments located at 8701 Interstate 30. He ran through the apartment complex until he reached apartment 81, entering without the tenant's permission and asking for help, begging them not to reveal his location. Trooper Corbin Freeman, in the area attempting to locate the suspect, was flagged down by a tenant, Raquel Glass. She reported that the suspect was in her apartment and gave permission to Trooper Freeman and other responding units to enter and remove him. Once other units arrived, they entered the residence and placed the suspect into custody without further incident. During the search of the vehicle, a loaded Glock 29 10mm was found in the front driver's seat. The firearm was checked through ACIC and a criminal history check was conducted on the suspect. The suspect was transported to Baptist Medical Center and treated for a broken wrist and abrasions. Once released, he was taken to Pulaski County Detention Center for processing. Someone who deems their car a prized possession, you would think they would go to great lengths to ensure its safety. Reckless driving and taking care of the vehicle certainly don't go hand in hand, but that didn't stop the suspect in question from running away from the police. On June 13, 2023, Officer Jordan Drake stopped a silver Chevrolet Camaro for an unreadable paper tag and no lights on with windshield wipers. The driver, however, pulled a classic move, waited for the cop to get out of the vehicle, and proceeded to hit the gas. The weather conditions made it more difficult to keep up and have sight of the fleeing vehicle.
I've got you on the map, shows that you're turning maybe on East 24th Street.
On Woodline now, right on Woodline.
Right on Woodland.
Stop here. Taking left into a gas station.
As the Camaro slowed down and tried to make a turn, Officer Drake saw it as an opportunity to try to disable the vehicle. Officer Drake sees an entrance to perform a TVI on the fleeing Camaro.
Okay, Okay, just keep running on. There's a bridge before you get to Barter Farms, between the 12 and the Barter Farms on Subspax. There's that bridge.
He's got his flashers on now. Looks like they pull over. Yeah, he's got a flag on his back rear.
The Camaro showed resilience, but the second TVI was the last straw as the officer hit the suspect vehicle around the rear driver's side tire, which caused the vehicle to spin and go backward into the ditch.
Show me your fucking hands! Keep your hands up and get out the vehicle now! Get out the vehicle! Keep your hands up!
The felon, later identified as Dustin Sockwell, explained he recently had his car impounded and didn't want that to happen again. Well, how about getting a proper license plate, Mr. Sockwell? On February 15th, 2024, Officer James Bryant noticed a black Dodge Charger speeding over the limit. As the police officer initiated a traffic stop, the car hit the gas and drove off as fast as possible, leading the officer into a wild chase. At this point into the pursuit, the suspect finally takes the exit of the highway. However, as we will see, his aggressive driving doesn't diminish in the slightest as they get back on normal streets right into rush hour.
You got a couple seconds come down 6:30, kind of get to you.
All right. Yeah, we're just continuing to have it on. Looks like the next cross is... I'll take a second. G Street, speed 63, right there. Passenger 27th, medium traffic. Look for a light here, take a left. We just turned on that's 28th. I'm at the Asher. TBI hit a building.
Officer Bryant managed a successful pit maneuver. However, the suspect lost control of the vehicle and crashed into a building. Mere seconds later, the driver and all his passengers shot out like popcorn kernels and scattered over the place. 2 were caught almost immediately, but it would appear the driver successfully fled the scene. Mission passed. Anyone?
Continuing.
Put your hands behind your back, Bubba.
On July 31st, 2021, Officer Allen observed a black Chrysler 300 with a unique yellow paint job making a lot of smoke. When he approached the scene, the car was performing donuts right in the middle of the intersection, making other cars unable to pass at this point. Once the driver spotted the approaching officer, he began to flee, initiating a pursuit.
672's behind him, I'll call it good for you. Got yellow racing stripes, black car, yellow racing stripes. We are crossing over Brown's Mill.
Carl, you 10-3 okay, South Mill.
The Chrysler 300. .482's almost on him. Still wrong side. Still westbound. Watch oncoming traffic. Watch my brakes. Clear all the way down. Crossing Lois Lane. Crossing Macon Street.
Clear across State Street.
Watch from the turn. He brakes better. Got units coming right here in front of him. Crossing over the connector, crossing over the connector. 42 still primary, 797 secondary. Tire down, 1 tire down. Crossing under 85 northbound on Metropolitan.
Clear northbound Metro across 85.
Westbound on Perkinson Road.
Clear westbound Ferguson for Metro.
Crossing Quaker.
2 flat tires, yeah.
Clear crossing Quaker Street on Metro for Ferguson for northbound. Push bonds, black male, low haircut, dark complected, white shirt.
We're crossing over Avery Road.
Clear crossing over Avery Road.
No, get on the highway, bitch. I dare you. Oh, you done fucked up now.
We are turning right onto the connector.
Can't do it right now.
Clear turn right onto the connector.
Left lane, we're going 75, 85 north. Passing 166.
We're on 166.
Clear on the connector north, 166.
We're going about 80. Setting up for a pit.
As Officer Allen knew they were nearing a blind intersection and wanted to prevent potential risk, he prepared himself for a forceful pit.
Him again.
Clear northbound, approach your fire and step for a second pit.
Get out.
Big successful, big 50.
After the vehicle crashed into a parked tractor and trailer, the driver and the passenger fled from the vehicle. Officer Allen missed both shots with his taser, but luckily, nearby Officers Ennis and Gordon continued to pursue the driver and eventually caught up to him on foot. On July 8, 2024, Trooper Tyler Gentry was patrolling Interstate 40 East near Conway, Arkansas. He heard over the radio that the Conway Police Department was in pursuit of a gray 2008 Ford Mustang with Arkansas license plate. The Mustang was speeding south on State Highway 365, traveling between 70 and 100 miles per hour. The trooper was asked to assist in the chase. He turned on his lights and siren and headed to intercept.
10-4. Still over 100 miles an hour. Copy, 1406.
The Mustang soon entered Interstate 40 West, where Trooper Gentry took over the pursuit. The car was weaving between lanes and using the shoulder to pass other vehicles.
63 to that, Adam, 68.
Trooper Gentry saw the driver throw a plastic bag out of the window. The bag spilled white substance on the shoulder. The Mustang continued to weave through traffic at high speeds.
Decimal 125 exit.
Decimal 125, throughout your time.
As they approached exit 125, Trooper Gentry executed a tactical vehicle intervention, TVI. He made contact with the Mustang, causing it to spin and crash into the center barrier. The Mustang came to a stop on the west shoulder. The pursuit ended successfully.
No, I got it.
Copy that.
So he's on foot. He's bailing. He's running over to the east side. TVI.
Copy. Bailing to the east side.
So he's giving up.
The driver, Derek Blevins, exited the vehicle and fled on foot. Officers from Conway Police and Faulkner County Sheriff's Office chased him and made the arrest. They also detained the passenger, Shelby Hoffman. Conway police continued the investigation and have found about 1 ounce of suspected methamphetamine where the bag was thrown. During the chase, traffic was light and there was light rain. Blevins was driving between 103 and 130 miles per hour, often using the shoulder to evade capture. Derek Blevins faced multiple charges, including fleeing with significant danger of death, tampering with physical evidence, possession of controlled substances, false imprisonment, reckless driving, improper turn signal, obstructing governmental operations, fleeing on foot, driving without a seatbelt. Trooper Tyler Gentry did what the Arkansas State Police are known for, a swift pit maneuver without much hesitation. This Mustang hits the speeds exceeding 170 miles per hour during a wild cop chase. On October 8, 2020, Trooper Walker noticed a gray Ford Mustang traveling at a high rate of speed. He activated his emergency lights and siren to conduct a traffic stop, but the Mustang proceeded to accelerate further, marking the start of a pursuit. Suspect is getting closer to Trooper Warren, who is sitting stationary, awaiting the suspect vehicle. Once the Mustang drives past him, Trooper Warren becomes the primary in the ongoing pursuit. Shortly after, the suspect collided with 2 other vehicles at the intersection, resulting in the suspect vehicle to come to a complete stop against a building and a concrete barrier.
Oh my God.
The suspect, later identified as Kendrick Price, was arrested on several charges, but he didn't fail to brag about his supercharged 2017 Mustang, reaching speeds as high as 178 miles per hour while getting arrested. Maybe prison mates will be more impressed than the police officers that arrested him. Here lies the proof that some men are terrible at driving. It is one of those moments where if you didn't have it on tape, no one would believe it happened. On October 29, 2024, Trooper observed a silver Dodge Challenger driving recklessly, ignoring the police lights and siren.
Contact to a 2021 Silver Dodge Challenger 201 and a Carlos on the Lone Drive in Nashville. It's
trying to drive away as fast as possible only to make accidental donuts in front of a not-so-impressed police officer, and eventually pitting himself against the trooper's car was certainly not on anyone's bingo card. The suspect was apprehended shortly after, luckily for the safety of others as well as himself. Getting wasted or wasting a Mustang in perfectly good condition, this suspect checked all the marks. On January 24, 2021, Trooper Tarpley observed a white Mustang traveling at a high rate of speed, approximating over 100 miles per hour. The officer noted that the driver was swerving and failing to maintain a lane, indicating a possibly intoxicated state. He turned on his emergency lights and siren.
I'm behind a possible 1055 southbound at a high rate of speed. Stand by. Still southbound. Stand by.
483.
Not sure what state it is. Still in the emergency lane, right at 100 miles an hour. Show me 1080.
Your DOE 1030, 1033, 943, 1080, 85,000.
It didn't take long for the trooper to perform a successful pit and get the drunk driver out of the way of public safety.
Into the wall, turning around.
Clear into the wall.
Stand by. Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. I got a female at gunpoint. Female at gunpoint. Let me see your hands. Don't get out. Let me see your hands. Sit right there. Don't move. You hear me? I said don't move. You're extremely intoxicated.
No, I didn't. No, I wasn't.
You are.
Moral of the story, don't drink and drive, but also don't ask a drunk driver why they are driving drunk. They don't even know they are. If this driver was as good at fleeing the cops as he was at forging expiration dates on tags, the sky would be the limit. Alas, let's see how far he comes in evading the justice system. On February 29, 2024, Trooper Booth noticed a silver Ford Mustang with an altered temporary tag. After checking the validation of the tag's number, he found that it had expired all the way back in 2022. After stopping for a brief moment, the car took an U-turn in an attempt to flee the cops. It looks like the car lost control and went over the hill. Will he give up? After the unsuccessful tactical vehicle intervention, the suspect continued to do what he does best, drove in the opposite direction. The second TVI made the car that was already in shambles halt to a stop, and the driver, later identified as Marquise Williams, tried to flee on foot. Assisted by North Little Rock Police Department, he was caught near the railroad tracks. Take notes, Williams's attempt to flee by confusing the cops with his repeated U-turns was proven unsuccessful and only resulted in his car getting demolished. You cannot outrun the law, especially if you take a wrong turn along the way. On May 11, 2022, Officer Robinson was in pursuit of a blue Mustang for improper lane change. As he got behind the suspect vehicle, the driver accelerated, passing the cars on the left and right shoulder.
0249 841. Blue Ford Mustang 630 east of Barrow 1037. Echo West. Just hit him at the end of Hardin. Let me see your hands! Let me see your fucking hands! Get on the ground now! Get on the ground! Anybody else in the car? Put your hands behind your back! Lean forward, put your head on the ground!
And sure enough, only one of them knew there was no escape, while the other ended up lying on the grass thinking about his life's choices.
1015 at Old Man.
The suspect was apprehended without further issues, with the only issue being the driver not stopping when he had the chance. New job and a criminal record don't go hand in hand, and this driver certainly thought so, hence his attempt at a daring escape. On January 24, 2021, a trooper observed a silver Ford Mustang swerving within its lane. The tag returned as a black Ford Expedition, and the officer initiated a traffic stop. Officer was apprehensive about the suspect driving away since the Mustang wasn't placed in park. Speeding through stop signs and red lights, the suspect showed zero care. He needs to be stopped before innocent lives are put at risk. The trooper was notified of a dead-end road. It was finally an opportunity to put a stop on the fleeing Mustang.
1050, 1050.
Get up! Show me your hands! Show me your hands! You're at gunpoint! Show me your hands! Show me your damn hands! Walk towards me! Get on the ground! Get on the ground now!
The suspect, identified as Anthony Corey Swansea, was apprehended without further issues. He explained his reason for running away was that his license got suspended and he didn't want to risk being caught as he just got a new job. And the turtle race comes to life as a police officer chases after a Mustang. Is there a moral here as well? There is, but with a twist. On September 23, 2022, Officer Rand Lace initiated a traffic stop on a Ford Mustang GT that had an active warrant.
Yes, sir.
I ran this tag, these guys, they might have a warrant with the Marshal Service. This is the one. Trooper lady, state police. The reason I was pulling you over, I was going to check on you. You cut the yellow line twice, and you was following a couple vehicles real close. That's why I was pulling you over. Where you headed?
The officer explained to the driver he pulled him over due to repeated cutting over the yellow line. At this point, the driver was cooperative. After gathering the information and realizing there was an active warrant, the officer asked the driver to step out of the vehicle. A police car is certainly no match for a speedy Mustang, as it took him a lot longer to catch up to the same speed. By then, the Mustang was long gone. A car like that certainly makes eluding the justice system a whole lot easier. Valiant effort aside, moral of the story is, don't scare the rabbit with stories of warrants before they exit the vehicle. One trooper might not be enough to stop a Mustang, but magic does happen when a pair acts in unspoken unison and performs a masterful intervention upon a fleeing vehicle. On May 21, 2023, the police department was in pursuit of a stolen blue Mustang with no license plate. Troopers Escamilla and Van Schoik notified over the dispatch, got to the interstate to intercept the pursuit.
Correction, 140 westbound, approaching 30. Yes, I think you should go to PSC.
From a better angle, we can see Trooper Schoik was able to slide next to the passenger side of the vehicle and conduct a TVI. As the Mustang tried to regain its balance and drive off, Trooper Escamilla performed a finishing blow. The second TVI smashed the rear passenger side and disabled the vehicle, ending the pursuit.
Hold on. Get on the ground now. Get on the ground now. Get on the ground. That's why I looked at him like, oh, why is he getting my gun?
The execution, the follow-up, absolute masterpiece. The suspect had no chance of escaping these two. Justice comes in many forms and shapes as an unlikely hero helps the policeman catch a criminal or two. On July 12, 2023, Officer Brandon Trewin came across a red Mustang speeding over the limit. He turned on the emergency lights and siren, initiating a pursuit.
Red Ford Mustang. Well, no Ford, it looks like they wrecked out here in the S-curves.
Officer Trewin dispatched for an ambulance as he saw from a distance the red Mustang crashed into a pole. As he approached the vehicle gun in hand, he noticed the occupants of the vehicle were missing, most likely hiding in the field. He began the search.
Show me your hands!
As the dog kept barking, just following troopers' orders, he gave away the owner's hideout.
Not at this time. Triple all County, careful.
No border.
No border. Speed one time, get over, what we do with the people.
Eventually, both suspects were apprehended and brought to justice.
That dog, if he comes at me,
Put him back in the car, please.
I'm not grabbing that dog.
42, do you know if there's any other suspects or not?
Move around. Go.
Now I'm about
I'm
to
about 15 seconds.
Go.
All with the help of a certain good boy. As an outstanding citizen, a model of well-behavior and a great moral sense, the brave doggo should get recruited into the police department in no time. Hook, line, and sinker watch as this Camaro baits a police officer into slowing down. On August 6, 2022, Officer Richard Surrett initiated a traffic stop on a Chevrolet Camaro. With blinkers on, the suspect was gradually slowing down and fully expecting to come to a stop. However, the suspect might have had some other ideas. Perhaps the officer has some previous beef with Chevrolet owners as he kept searching for the next few minutes. But the reality being, the fleeing criminal disappeared faster than you can say Chevrolet Camaro. On November 26, 2022, Officer Spencer Morris was performing his patrol duty when he spotted a red Chevy Camaro going over the limit. He immediately followed suit, trying to catch up to the speeding criminal. Will this be the end? It certainly won't, as the Camaro manages to slip past the tanker on his left shoulder. With the tail of the Camaro too far and the "Welcome to Tennessee" sign too near, the Camaro flashes his lights in a winning salute as if to say, "Better luck next time." You gotta teach them while they are young, and seeing your daddy get handcuffed by a police officer is not a cool look. This suspect did that, and a whole lot more, so he is certainly not expecting a Dad of the Year award awaiting him at his front porch. On July 10, 2023, Officer Daryl Hinton spotted a green Chevrolet Camaro traveling over the speed limit. The Camaro sped even faster in order to avoid the cop. Officer Hinton proceeded to activate his emergency light and siren and began the chase. The speeds were reaching an impressive 151 miles an hour, and the suspect vehicle showed no signs of stopping, continuing to recklessly pass cars on the left and right shoulder. Officer Hinton managed to get behind the fleeing Camaro, now actively looking for an entrance to perform a TVI. Surprisingly, the suspect slowed down just enough for a light bump to halt him into a stop. Is he afraid of a dent to his precious car, or is there a precious package in the back? Two children were found in the car after the officer pulled the suspect out, together with bags of marijuana. They also managed to retrieve the gun the suspect previously dumped out of the car mid-pursuit. Somebody is not getting a best dad ever mug for his birthday, that's for sure. Speeding over the limit might be exhilarating for some, but even more so when a friend of yours joins the chase. What happens when a cop car is added to the equation? You hit the pedal to the metal and pray you don't get caught. On March 3, 2024, officer observed two Chevrolet Camaros, black and white, entering the highway at high rates of speed. The white Camaro seemed to drive more recklessly, weaving in its lanes side to side, indicating the driver's condition might have been impaired, which prompted the officer to conduct a traffic stop. The Camaro hit the gas and began the pursuit. The slowing speed together with the suspect trying to make a U-turn gave the officer the perfect opportunity to disable the vehicle. The suspect tried to flee on foot, but was soon after caught without further incident.
Let me see your hand! Yeah!
They should really start giving out some coupons or scratch tickets, as the suspect, identified as Barnard Stokes, was celebrating his 10th violation of driving with a suspended license, this being his 3rd time trying to elude the aforementioned charges. Perhaps a get one violation, earn double the penalty of the charges. You would think these criminals would learn by now that speeding and reckless driving in near vicinity of a police car is a no-go, especially when the car they're driving is, let's say, temporarily borrowed without asking. On August 2nd, 2021, Officer Moores was passed by a blue Chevrolet Camaro traveling at high rates of speed. Moores activated his emergency lights and siren to perform a traffic stop, but the Camaro accelerated and began to flee. The license plate returned to a different car, indicating the fleeing vehicle was stolen, making this pursuit having even bigger stakes at hand. First pit attempt did significant damage, but the suspect somewhat remained control on the vehicle. The second attempt was successful in disabling the stolen vehicle. The driver continued to flee on foot, but officers Hemingway and Walton found the missing driver and apprehended him. Good news, the car was seized and returned to its rightful owner. Bad news, it's not exactly in one piece. Now you see me, now you don't. That is the name of the game of cat and mouse, where an ever-elusive mouse needs to avoid the traps set up for him by the troopers in this high-speed chase. On August 13, 2023, Officer Cheers spotted a white Chevrolet Camaro traveling at high rates of speed. The owner of the Camaro ignored the emergency lights and siren and showed no intention of stopping the vehicle. Officer Smith joins the pursuit as the primary unit, since his car is more suited for a high-speed chase. As West wasn't sure whether the planted spike strip was successful in disabling the vehicle, Officers Smith and Cheers continued eastbound toward the suspect vehicle. They lost visual, forcing them to terminate the pursuit, and Jerry yet again successfully flees from Tom. Just like back in the old days. Who turned off the lights? Chasing in the dark is not an easy task, but chasing the dark itself, traveling at rapid speeds, is an entirely different level of hard mode. On February 21st, 2024, several police officers joined the pursuit of a blacked-out silver Chevrolet Camaro without a license plate, speeding at 130 miles per hour and recklessly passing the cars on left and right shoulder. As can be seen from Officer Evans' dash cam, Officer Martin attempted a TVI on the Camaro just as it was passing him in the fast lane. He failed to make contact as the slick Camaro just barely slipped past him and continued speeding off. Unable to stop him in time, the fleeing vehicle crossed the state lines and the pursuit was terminated shortly after. Instead of getting a ticket and a jail cell, the suspect got a VIP police escort out of the state. How nice of them indeed. Thank you for watching the video till the end. If you liked it, leave a like and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell so you are notified about new videos. YouTube will now recommend the best clip for you on the screen. See you in the next video.